So they're going to pick this offlane Spirit Breaker again.
Probably. A lot of flexibility in these roles. Ember could be mid, safe lane. Mirana could be mid, support. Spirit Breaker could be 4 or could be 3. We talked about it yesterday, but I think the 3 Spirit Breaker has some merit. It is really tricky to balance when do you fight, when do you farm.
They did win that game, though.
They did, and he found the balance. They did have a little sticking point from like 10 to 15 minutes where it kind of felt like the Spirit Breaker was forced to farm, so he didn't fall behind and missed out on a little bit. But he ended up getting that Aghanims. Did he go earn Aghanims? Did he get a
Blade
Halberd
Mail.
in there?
You aim with Blade.
Blade Mail. That was it.
Yeah. It was a really good Blade Mail game, though.
But once he got the Aghanims, though, it was like the switch was flipped, and this hero actually had a place in the game again. Wraith King, though.
10 seconds.
Pretty heavy nerf. The old Wraith King, man. Yeah, the Skeletons lost 30 seconds of survivability. I was kind of shocked by that. I mean, he was dominating lower tier pubs. he was like the highest win rate at like the lowest brackets. Wasn't really cruising too hard in the higher ones though. Maybe this nerf won't really impact like high tier Dota that much.
I don't think so. I mean, before they used to last so long, it was nice for farming, but you'd see a lot of times where they'd push a tier 2 and the Skeletons are just there, like suiciding into the tier 3 and stuff. I think you can still do most of the Wraith King things that you want to do. The CR draft just doesn't wow me right now, though. It feels like they're missing some real core team fight to go with the keeper.
They need a big nuke. They need like Alina or something. They banned the Queen of Pain. They just need someone that kills people that are hit by Vendetta or hit by... You know, this would actually be a dope Exort Invoker game if Invoker wasn't so bad. Unless he's Quaspex. Quaspex Invoker seems pretty good. But...
yeah.
I don't think you can go Exort, especially not against a potential Spirit Breaker just roaming into you constantly. But they need, like, Laguna Blade or some way to actually kill people that are dueled or Vendetta'd or Wraith King stunned.
Is it just Lina? Is she not viable mid for some reason?
No, she's still playable. I mean, there's also still, like, TA as well, but then you're picking TA blind. I don't really like the Kunkka that we talk about a lot because I don't know if he has quite enough damage.
OD?
They will take the OD, so I didn't think they'd take it having 9th. Okay, so what's the punish then? This is why we were thinking, okay, they won't pick OD even if it's good versus Ember because you might get, like, Pugna. Pugna looks really good this game.
Is Razor still the counter?
Razor's, like, decent. It fits their lineup fairly well. It's pretty good versus Legion and Wraith King. A little annoying to play against Nyx, but yeah, Razor's definitely playable.
Pretty good against LC, generally. Not the best against Wraith King with the Reincarnation.
I kind of like Pugna.
They're
Pugna
like
players.
Morphling, bruh.
Morphling's still in?
Morphling is still in. And now that we know he's viable
Morphling's
mid,
like the worst hero versus OD, though. I will say it's short. It's surprising that Morph made it this far in a draft, but Morph gets, like, dumpstered by OD.
Yeah, I was kind of joking.
You're just saying hero names. I hear you.
I like the Quap ban a lot. Of course, Puck taken out in the first phase. Who else hits hard?
The other question is, do they just send the Mirana mid versus the OD? I think might be what they're considering, right?
Yeah. And this could be a support pick then. No, they take the TA. All right.
All right, well, let's see how new OD does, because this guy was at a point where he was first phaseable if you were 9th pick, because you were just like, okay, there's not that, you would pick him like 4th, and then you'd ban Pugna, and that was it. And you're like, okay, whatever else comes mid, we can deal. There's a lot of annoying saves this game. We have the press the attack, we have the disruption, we have the astral, we have like kind of the Ignis Fatus is a big overarching save.
We got a 2.63 for CR, 1.45 Reality Rift.
Yeah, judging by the records in the league, it's hard to really give a whole lot of stock to the CR squad. There's no doubt about that.
Draft-wise, though, I like what they have. I like both lineups. I'm excited to see Reality Rift play this Mirana Shadow Demon as a support duo. 'Cause I didn't like the mid Marana, but this is an old classic, and we'll see it. Well, I don't know. Are they going to be able to use the combo? It's sort of better if Marana's the 3. In this case, they're going to be in separate lanes.
Well, they can roam around a little bit, right? Like the Spirit Breaker can be doing some shenanigans. I feel like Hustla to start will go up into the Radiant jungle. He'll pull the waves, and then he can arrow a few creeps in between pulling waves to stack them up so the KYXY gets free farm under the tower. The heroes can't really chase him that well between a Coddle and a Nyx. Like he should be able to mess around in there, and then he can also go for courier kills too. I expect to see some good deep vision on the Radiant side ward-wise. As all these support Maranas I've seen that play really well is part of their game plan is just hunting couriers a little bit too, based off ward vision.
Sure. Excited to see another position 3 Spirit Breaker as well.
It feels like guaranteed aggression, which is always fun as a viewer.
Well, and just it feels like Spirit Breaker as a core still feels a little bit underdeveloped, right? He's been locked in the support role for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that he's becoming viable as somebody that gets a little farm priority.
He had really good partners last time, though. In the previous game we cast, he had the Snapfire ulti flying through after he charged people. They had AA Ice Blast. And then he has the Ember again, which also proved to be really good, too, because he was just like, you know, obviously having an additional mobile core is very helpful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mushi Coddle.
Mushi, one of those players that hasn't had the most successful transition to support compared to, like, Fada or someone. I think Mushi's one of those players that made it seem like, oh, maybe this switch isn't as easy as people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I remember his first, like, couple months on support were pretty brutal. He was just, like, constantly feeding. I haven't got to see him lately. So I'm sure he's been playing it for a while now, so I'm sure he's probably a lot better at the role.
It's been a little... Mushi's due for a win. It's been a little bit. First place at DAC 2018, April 7th. Exactly 2 years ago.
Does not feel that far ago, man, that they won that DAC.
Yeah. And placed 9th through 12th, TI 8. Man, that really wasn't that long ago, that Mineski team. You're right.
Instant D-ward. Whoops. They already have a sentry blocking the small camp here to try and prevent these pulls from Mushi. So Mushi's going to have to buy another sentry straight away. Probably won't get the safe lane back until like 2 minutes. The safe lane pull, that is. And Hustla just keeping the aggression up here. Pigeonholing him under this tower. What is Nuts trying to do right now? He's just TPing out.
Yep. He outie.
So they didn't put down that ward I expected. We talk about this ward all the time. Way down there.
Would have
But like
seen
he knows
this
that he wants to bring a sentry ward. That it's so valuable to have that.
Let's check in on this mid matchup. TAOD. First 2 waves.
Yeah, Mushi better back up here. That courier's coming. He's got no leap though, so
yeah, he'll be good. Blinding light, helping him out a little.
Yeah, he's using that move speed. He's giving him the clicks. A little miscommunication there. Mushi wanted to come back to free up the camp, but now he doesn't make it there in time, unfortunately. Damn, he went for the risky sentry. I don't know, maybe he knew exactly where it was, but he went for like the double sentry catch.
Mid lane, a battle of denies. Both sides underperforming a little bit. Alacrity
Feels
with
like
the
a pretty
advantage,
not fun matchup to play as the OD at the very least. That, like, just constantly getting Sideblade early on, and you just have to like temper yourself on these Astrals because it starts at 24 seconds.
Yep.
But still 4-2. I mean, not super one-sided one way or the other. Just kind of annoying.
Guys, they're both just missing last hits, so it's even, but they're both equally not doing super well.
Just getting annoyed.
Yep, kind of an interesting dynamic. Ohio and Nuts trading up top as the courier comes in.
It's like Ohio can't like get anywhere to pull waves or anything, so Drew is just farming. He's 10-3. He's fine. I mean, Jerry's also not getting forced out, but I guess if they end up pulling waves, it's gonna be free farm for Drew. Drew, by the way, if you guys haven't caught any Reality Rift, I don't know. This guy, at least the games we saw, he played really well. He had like a super good gyro game. Feels like he doesn't really overextend, but I also wouldn't say he's like insanely passive. He just kind of has this very nice temperament to himself.
Well, pretty static lane setup. And both sides trading some blows, but Nuts going to be the one to take some big damage up top. Not enough to finish him off. Salve back up.
All right, who's dying first? Oh, is it bottom? Nope, swing and a miss. Oh, now look at this though. They body block the camps. Now that like, Mushi goes through all this effort, all these sentries, and Hustle's just standing on it every minute. Is it really paying off though? The Spear Breaker's keeping even farm with the Wraith Knight. The Wraith King, but Hustle's also not getting any space to like arrow neutrals, so he's not really like benefiting from the useful parts of being a support Mirana.
Yeah, so far at least. I think preventing Mushi from controlling the jungle is definitely nice with the Spirit Breaker. He can trade okay with the Wraith King. No Orb of Venom though. Did pick up that Ring of Tarrasque.
Yeah, both of these fives also really want to be stacking jungle. I mean, Caudle, it's not as important in this game. Usually the hero's really good at it, but it's kind of whatever with the heroes he has. But Dire Side, like Nuts, I'm sure is...
You know, they don't have a headdress in this lane on CR. So that's also a difference of all things equal. Should favor RR a little bit.
That is very unusual to not see a headdress.
Yeah. And now Mushi maybe in some trouble. Nope, good blinding light. Sidesteps.
We saw
the
this
arrow.
the last time versus when the Spear Breaker game. I'm pretty sure they were playing against Caudle too. It's like very annoying because Caudle usually buys Force Staff and he has the blinding light. So surprisingly effective versus the Spear Breaker.
Yeah. You make a fair point, but if I had to pick in this lane, I'd rather be on the RR side of it. Now back towards mid, still favoring the TA. And, ooh, 30 HP. They have to run out of salve. Ben
Oh my
in
god,
some
dude,
trouble.
he almost walked right into that.
Up top now, Nuts.
No, Bitter's crazy.
Wait, he went in?
Yeah, he went in, he got hit by one more side blade, and then he just astraled him. Yeah, this courier cannot come any faster. Please. Oh my god. Benner, please.
All right, he's going to get to salve up. A lot of space for the TA, though.
Down bottom. They're after Mushi. The leap.
Ooh, blinding
Bounce
light.
back. Oh, it's Hustler. Oh, the leap. Oh, no. Mushi. Got him.
Not the leap you were looking for. First blood drawn.
That's like the last hero I'd expect to get first blood in this game. The Caudle. And he's going to get the bounty rune, too. It looks like KYXY did get the other one before their little battle broke out while we were watching mid.
Oops, so, all right.
Man, Ohio has been so annoying up here. Just like constantly pulling these creeps. And like Nuts can't do anything. He can disrupt him over and over, but it's pretty hard to kill a Nyx Assassin. He's got 12.1 HP regen when he's the Tango running and 5.1 without. He's got a magic stick, so unless you're killing him with these Shadow Poison charges, it's not really delaying him that much.
It's pretty rough.
Finally gets a pull off, though, down bottom.
LC topping the net worth right now. But after that, it's all Reality Rift cores. Laning phase slightly favoring RR, but pretty darn even.
Yeah, Benner's at the point now where he has the astral damage that he can just astral the TA if she's ever next to the range creeps, right-click it once, and then it comes out and gets him the free last hits, so starting to stabilize. And now this is where Alacrity really wants to be going back to his jungle. So now you're seeing Nuts starting to make these rotations back, but they've preemptively warded here. They want to know where these stacks are. And there's an illusion rune here as well for Alacrity, so gonna try and double stack over on the right-hand side.
What item build do you think this Wraith King is going for? He's got these gloves of haste, but phase boots queued up.
Illusion died. He couldn't get the double stack. Wait, what? Oh, there's a Radiant. I didn't even notice that sentry was blocking. I thought it was outside. So they actually blocked the Ancient stack for the TA. Sorry. Anyway. Wraith King build.
Yeah, he's got gloves of haste, and he wants phase boots. You see an armlet
Yeah.
here?
The gloves are like this, like super valuable. Everyone just buys gloves.
You just buy casual gloves, that's it?
No, not casual. Like they'll still build it into like perhaps the armlet or something, or like a maelstrom. But it's just like in terms of what it gives you for its value, it's a really good laning item.
I'm just curious what it's going to turn into. Are you digging on armlet, Wraith King? Oh, charge mid onto Ben-Hur. Nuts making the rotation. Also, a lot of TPs from CR. Blinding Light used before KYXY gets there. Gets the bash. Gives him the lantern. Now can RR make it out, though. TA with the refraction. Arrow comes flying in. Does not connect. Faded can be able to walk away. Only level 5. Can't finish him off. Hustler does get the courier, though. Sorry, Mushi.
I mean, it's a pretty good armlet game.
Yeah.
There's not really anything that says don't buy armlet, really. Like, the only thing he can't toggle through that easily would be Flame Guard.
Yeah, other than why not just get Radiance?
I mean, you can if you can farm that much. If he's going to get the space, I'm sure he'll still, like, he hasn't committed for the treads, or the, oh no, see, look, he didn't even buy the phase boots. Because if you go phase boots, then you can go, like, some armlet build or something.
They grab Ohio mid. And another charge mid. They set it up with the disruption. Mushi not going to be able to stop it with the blinding light. That's going to be another strike to get another kill on this OD. Exactly what you want to do with the Spirit Breaker. Just cripple this mid lane. Beautiful.
I wonder if he was thinking about getting phase boots because, like, there's just so much physical damage on the side of our... But, like, treads are far more common on Wraith King.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I found it
It was a
peculiar.
little confusing why it was queued up, but he committed for the treads. So
Yeah, all right. We're all good.
everything's fine, guys. Please do not queue up your Wraith King phase boots right now. I mean, it's definitely a very good Radiance game. I think that should be your first goal.
Yeah.
But you also have
that.
an OD on your team, and OD's in this like awkward category these days where you really want this Aghanims, but then sometimes you need other items in your game, and you also know that it's going to be a very aggressive game plan from RR, right? Because they have a Spirit
True.
Breaker and an Ember, and even like the Mirana is a support that feeds off of kills. So
Yeah.
he is starting to set up for the armlet, and I think I like that item choice this game.
Oh.
It's like, sure, I wish he had the space, but his ulti might get popped here. Oh, there's no ulti from the Spirit Breaker, though.
Still on cooldown.
That would have been free.
Just trying to push him back, get these runes.
Yeah, he was probably hoping that he'd start rotating towards the rune.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Somebody's going to have to show up to these fights and make some space for the OD to farm. LC looking for a duel, perhaps. Shadow Demon level 5. There it is. And probably going to kill him. Will not get the duel damage, though.
A bit weak.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire structure.
And maybe
It's
a
wind up
tower
being a
exchange.
trade. Oh, Legion's coming bottom.
Tower is under
Wants to try and defend this? I mean, they don't have 6 on the Coddle.
Kind of bold
seems a
without
little crazy.
duel either. Blinding Light going to help him out. Another strike still comes through. Press the attack. Zhao Yu, he's going to be all right. Nothing close to a counter kill, but they will defend this tower. And up top, they're going to finish this one off. BT fading.
They must have assumed that Coddle was like about to be 6 or something, or there were rotations. So they're like, "There's no way this guy's alone." Because they could have just kept right-clicking him and he'd probably die, right?
Yeah, they're going to go for it again. Another bash for KYXY.
Man, nice rotation and save from Legion.
Worked out surprisingly well.
As long as she doesn't die here. Like, at this point, she's bought so much time for her team because this Spearbreaker and Mirana are the killers, and they're still just locked down here. And that Spearbreaker's going to commit for the charge up top. So he's out of here. He's just going to go farm the wave. So she stopped a tower trade. Very nice.
TA going straight Deso, 1,000 gold away. Number 1 net worth. Certainly a timing for RR to pop off. We saw it in, what was it, Game 2 of our opening series, TNC Fnatic. The power of the TA with a Deso opens up Roche, and you can actually pressure some of these towers.
Would picked up for Xiaoyu now too. His courier dies after delivering it, but been harder to bring down in this bottom lane. This is the best kind of Legion game, where like you're not really pressured to start moving across the map and going for a bunch of kills, and you just get to like farm in this dead lane.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you're not getting a bunch of dual damage or anything, but she is really rich. She's the highest net worth on her team.
Sometimes you get stuck in this trap with LC even before you have the level 2 ultimate, where you feel all this pressure to find duels, and it's
always the
10
support
damage.
player that ruins it. And I'm speaking as a support player, but they start pinging their Legion like, yo, you have duel, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
I want to go like finger of death somebody.
I mean, it is nice to build up early damage, but in some games it's not really worth it to slow down your farm when you can just find those duels and get a little extra damage.
He's got a good read on this. He's like, I'm totally being charged right now.
It's still pretty far out, though. They might commit. There's another strike. KYXY holding it for now. Ooh,
All the Ignis whiffs.
rough ulti from Mushi. Ohio level 6 might go in onto Drew.
I feel bad because I know Mushi gets flamed a lot, but missing Ignis is like
It's
one of
pretty
those
big.
spells. It's got a pretty big AoE, guys.
Okay. Well, that duel didn't quite go according to plan. That's a plus 10 for Ember.
You know, you can't win when you're Mushi. No matter what he does, he's not going to get the credit, and he's going to get all the flame. But that was pretty funny.
Kind of. I mean, landing ultimates is a good way to get some credit.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the duel, though, as you said. That was like a panic ulti or something.
And of all the heroes, too, like obviously Ember, very mobile. You want to lock him down, but he's a pretty scary hero to take some risk on in terms of duels. He does a lot with extra damage.
You give TA 10 damage, you're like, all right, whatever. Like, she's got all damage anyway. Ember, it's like, oh yeah, that's a 10 AoE damage, by the way, on every sleight of fist.
Yeah, exactly.
This one multiplies. TA's like kind of does through minus armor, but you know, percentage-wise, you're not really gifting that much.
Exactly. And the tower pressure commences. Alacrity with the Desolator.
Yeah, and they've scanned. They know that Nuts and Hustler are in the area, or at least somebody's sitting on that high ground, so they don't want to contest Alacrity. And Ben-Hur is going Force Staff potentially into the Hurricane Pike on the OD, so he's not anywhere near fighting, but they're going to try to trade the tower mid. Anyway, XY on a long charge onto Mushi.
He's going to make it back into the base. Is he going to commit for this? No, definitely.
I would hope not. He has Blinding Light.
Yeah.
Actually, it was kind of close. It was only 1 second back.
Tower does go down, but they lose the tier 2 bottom. Drew looking for a catch. Finds Ben-Hur. Cleanse from the press your attack. Press the attack.
I preferred your version.
Arrow comes in. That's a dead Ben-Hur. Duel from the LC. Not going to find a kill. And Ohio going to get popped next. RR starting to roll this fight. BT faded, getting charged. Does have the ultimate. This baddest Ignis will connect. Sets
there we
the kill
go.
onto KYXY. We get out of dodge perhaps as the Wraith King comes back to life. Drew now with a triple. Wrapping around, looking for faded. No way to interrupt. And now this Legion commander left all alone. TP out. No interrupts again. Oh, they've got it with the root. There she goes. Big fight for RR.
The total carnage here, let's see. Well, 2,500 XP going RR's way. They got all 5 heroes killed at some point. The Wraith King reincarnated, but yeah, that's a pretty huge one to take. It's 16 minutes into a game.
Mm-hmm.
So much of that damage coming from Drew. The speaking of dual targets, also again the Spirit Breaker, right? The status resistance. You saw that duel just ended instantly.
Yeah, it really did.
Another kind of frustrating hero to try and pull this one out against.
Again,
We
I
talked
think-
about the Dispel too, and we don't have that once again either.
Yep.
They can't get rid of the,
Ben-Hur mid. Force staff back. Gonna survive. But yeah, completely agreed. The Dispel is such a good way to deal with Spirit Breaker.
Okay, well, XY. He's in.
Bulldoze. Open up some possibilities.
He doesn't have a ward. Yeah, can't go for it.
I mean, when you have no way to get rid of the bulldoze, he actually feels unstoppable like that. All you can do is run and try to force him to dive like a tier 3 in that kind of scenario. It's brutal.
It is really hard for them to like aggressively move. They have to rely on Nick's stats to make some sort of play. It's gonna start from an invis stun.
Oh no, disruption to break up the duel. A lot of damage coming CR's way. RR starting to clean up. Ohio down first. VT faded next. No ulti there. Can't toggle his way out. And it's a quick 2 down. Now Siege into the tower. Reality.
KYXY?
Oh. Deep charge. Blinding light knocks him back. Still a tier 2 standing. Alacrity trying to focus objectives. They are bringing the tower down pretty quick.
Radiant structures are fortified.
TA, she's rolling. Didn't go for the blink straight up. Instead, the Dragonlance. A little extra range, some additional stats, backdoor protection. Making this annoying, but they finish it off.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, pretty unusual to see the Dragonlance picked up these days on TA. But helps out in a couple of these battles. Keeping your distance versus the OD is always good, right? It lets you outrange the Astral, I'm pretty sure now. It's kind of cool.
And into Roche we go. No big surprise. What do you
Man, this
think
is
about
KYXY's hero, dude.
Blade Mail on the Ember this game? Has he gotten value?
I don't know. C loves the blade mail though. This region is just buying it on like every hero while we're watching.
It's true.
It is far more common here than anywhere else.
I mean, the stats are great. It's a good bang for its buck. Xiao Yu be just fine against the charge.
I mean, what would his other items be for like the way they're playing this game? He could buy like Maelstrom if he wanted, but he's not really hitting creeps. He could buy Yules, but he doesn't really need it defensively. So it's just
I like
helps
Maelstrom
deal with all the
first.
stuns and lockdown.
I think Maelstrom is a good double for allowing you to do extra damage in fights, and you can push out lanes and farm a little more quickly.
It feels like he doesn't want to though. He like wants a 5-man with his TA and the Spear Breaker.
Yeah.
Ohio gonna pop the smoke. Yep.
Charge across, though. Alacrity going to be okay for now. Remember, he has the Aegis. There's the fattest Ignis. Sets it up for Ben-Hur to get in some right clicks. Will finish off the Shadow Demon.
They gotta get Drew,
Spirit
though.
gets Mushi, though. Faded in the middle. Duel comes out. They get the Spirit Breaker thanks to the ult. Low on HP, though. Faded will get finished off. That's the reincarnation. Drew trying to press forward. Pops the Blade Mail. Damage onto the Legion Commander, but press your attack is there. Another stun from the Nyx. Nice Carapace, but an arrow will set it up for an easy kill. And
Radiant's top
pretty even fight. Aegis still in the hands of the TA, but not bad for CR.
That fight was really strange. They focused down the supports to start. So, like, they had the Carapace ready right next to the Ember at the very start of that fight. When he was still invis, he could have stunned him up, but I guess he felt like there wasn't quite enough follow-up to go with him at the moment, even though the OD was pretty close. But I guess the main problem is he has to stun nuts, right? Because if he tries to go on the Ember, then he's just going to get disrupted. So
Yeah.
I think Nick's doing his job of taking down the SD is what helped them like get at least something out of that fight. Considering the deficit they're in, it's surprising it was that close.
The big issue for me, though, is they don't have an answer to this TA, and she's closing in on the butterfly now. Just the talisman remaining. They didn't get the Aegis in that fight, and they weren't even really close. Ohio with a stun. Maybe this is the setup. Arrow does connect on LC. Mushi in with the blind. No Ignis.
Why is Ben-Hur just hitting creeps?
Oh, there's the duel, and a victory for Xiao Yu. Aegis
Oh, man,
coming
that
back.
charge.
Refraction pops Ben-Hur in the blink of an eye. Faded on the run. All he can do is armlet toggle here. Nice nether strike. They kill Mushi. CR in full retreat, and from a Spirit Breaker, that's not the position you want to be in. BT faded down. Ohio and Xiao Yu might live here, but not much of a team fight to speak of without those big ulti cooldowns.
Feeling a little outclassed and perhaps outdrafted here.
Yep.
Lanes, I mean, bottom didn't go particularly well for the Wraith game. It went okay,
It was
but
even.
it didn't get him to a Wraith King game.
They just traded. It was, yeah. No momentum to speak of for the Wraith King. He did fine, but it didn't really translate into anything. And not that he would have been able to get a Radiance, but you know, the armlet hasn't really changed the state of affairs much. Hasn't really felt like he's been able to toggle anything.
It's not even so much like the lanes. I think it's like what happened immediately after. Like what heroes are capable of playing this aggressive, high-tempo Dota, and that the Spirit Breaker kind of forces. And you can tell that RR are just like fully based around that, right? Like Mirana loves a game like this. Like this is such a sloppy, skirmishy game, and she's got this really weird like escape mechanism, and she throws these arrows that just catch you completely off guard because they're kind of stupid.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
you know what I mean? Like that's every
For sure.
good Mirana game is where the game is just so chaotic because the hero fits so well into chaos. Suddenly the enemies are just invisible. Like who else does that?
yeah. The LC has felt fairly sustainable. The press the attack has been pretty key, but really it feels like CR needed to do to TA what RR did to OD. Much easier when you have a Spirit Breaker, but not only did they cripple the OD, in the process they set their Templar Assassin up to just get really far ahead early on. She had a well-timed Deso, and a lot of that was because they crippled the mid lane at, what, 10 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever it was?
I mean, on top of that, look at the itemization too, right? Like you have this Dragonlance from the TA. We talk about how we don't see it that often, but the constant brawling, it fits really well. Like you can't even, it doesn't feel like she doesn't have Blink because of the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
He's still setting her up really well. She is going in. This is a no Aegis TA.
Moonlight
And
Shadow.
they're still running.
Who's going to find the real initiation here? It looks like Nuts is going to be the big target. In comes Spirit Breaker, Ignis Fatuus. They've got the damage. That's another successful duel. But maybe RR can still turn things around. Double damage rune for the Ember Spirit is scary. Ben-Hur's ult does set it up, though. KYXY, Hustler both dead. Alacrity now stunned up. Refraction, it's there. Brings down the Reincarnation. They're all getting low, but I don't know if RR can finish him off.
Oh my god,
Ember
he's going
jumps
back in?
back in. Him and Nuts are here. He's banished. Another slight. Ohio and Ben-Hur both down. The double damage rune might be just too much. Coddle rooted. Drew stunned up, but gets another slight. And now faded on the run. It was disastrous for RR, but the
Dude,
double
he's 2 on
damage
4 of
rune
them.
is too damn much. A rampage, maybe imminent. No, Xiao Yu makes it back.
Radiant's bottom
Drew.
That was a good read. He's like, they just dumped every spell onto my TA. I'm going in, guys. I'd be very curious to check on the Dota Plus after this, how much damage his Blade Mail did.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see Dota Plus update. It actually did start to swing back in favor of CR. And right now it's doing some math. 85-15.
A duel? What?
Yeah, you don't want a dual Spirit Breaker, you see. 70% status resistance is kind of a joke. Mushi died.
I think he just stopped him charging onto someone else. I think he was trying to save Mushi.
Okay. I
That's
see.
my guess.
That's cool.
It didn't work, obviously.
I guess in that case, then
Wait,
dueling him with a
dude,
spirit
they've
with
been
the
fighting
status
so much
resistance is
heat.
good.
Did you see that? He just found the tier 2 and tier 3. That's how much they've been fighting for Reality Rift. The tier 2 items were still in the jungle.
Xiao Yu, focus down. Another bash from KYXY. And he really gave him the lantern there.
Oh, bottom lane, faded. If he TPs now, he's fine. Oh, did I speak too soon? No, he's good.
Good try. Good charge. No
Man, this
Aghanims.
is such a terrible OD game now. Like, the fact that he has to go MKB, this is like the item he hates most in Dota.
It is so trash on this hero, but you need it because you have to hit your right clicks.
Yeah.
Blade Mail Shiva's guard.
No room for the Aghanims. Who's got the Shivas?
The Ember's going Shiva's. He already bought it, I believe.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It's a very good item versus Wraith King,
Wow.
OD, and Legion. That is a cool pickup.
I still think this is one of the hallmarks of Ember Spirit, how truly versatile his item builds are. You can buy almost any item on this hero and get away with it.
Yeah.
It's really insane.
Didn't quite have the timing on the Carapace there. Or, well, on the arrow post-Carapace, that is.
All right. You're actually going to come out of the base. Dual setup onto the Shadow Demon again. That's a victory. 72 damage now on this Legion Commander. It's not terrible.
Yeah, they gotta get that Roche figured out on the side of RR. Now, if you're Radiant, you probably want to force Roche, but God, you're so far behind. You're an entire hero of net worth behind. They land the arrow on the Ben-Hur, but the press the attack's there, so it's fine.
Quickening Charm. Pretty nice. Hand it over to the Ember. Takes a second off those Searing Chains.
Alacrity's BKB is going to be quite terrifying, though. They're going to have to try and get off the halberd before the BKB's there. Maybe try and get like stunned down with a duel or something, but it's going to come down to a very good initiation onto a TA, but then you have the same problem of the disruption of the Spirit Breaker, and then the literal disruption from the Shadow Demon. Just trying to, like, if you try and focus down the TA at the start of this fight, it's so unlikely you're going to get her, you know?
Yeah.
You have to be so isolated for that to work.
Especially without an MKB.
Yeah.
He's working on it. About a demon edge away.
Now, Mushi has gone a pretty good path here. The double bracer, something that March could have used last game, that's for sure.
Yeah, really. Another Shaw on the Coddle, too. But into Roche we go. RR walk right into the pit, confident. Smoked up. Feeling safe. Be a free Roche.
Yeah, KYXY's making space in the mid. He's like, if I die, whatever. That's definitely been the hallmark of his Spirit Breaker, I think, across the two games we've seen, is that he just puts his body out there. Like, anytime his team is trying to accomplish something on the map, he's very happy to just draw a bunch of attention. Mushi looking like March, actually. Speaking of the devil.
Say, speak of the devil. The Vision game. TP in from
faded.
Mirana on the other side. VT faded now. On the run. No armlet toggle. And now back to life we go. Rooted straight away. Press the attack. VT faded, just trying to live. Arrow into Force Staff. Now buyback from the Coddle.
They don't want to get caught by an Ignis under the tier 3, so no point diving. Now they know that they have 2 minutes or so.
Radiant are scanning.
And there it is. The item they've been waiting for. Is there anything else really close that they want? Not really. This is pretty much all they need to start warding hyper aggressively. They've already got some really good ones in the mid lane there, you can see. And they're going to start poking here, using that high ground vision from the Shiva's Guard.
Arrow flies through, does connect on Faded. He does not have the level 3 ultimate, so it's still on cooldown. This is a little bit scary. Press the attack, not going to be enough. It's a nice Ignis. But again, is it really going to matter? They trade wards on the high ground. Charge onto VT Faded, interrupted. Banish now, follow-up arrow. They've got that combo. And this Wraith King has just been made a non-factor. He's been thrown into the lowest dredge.
Yeah, I think you just march down mid. What are your big concerns if you're just walking high ground right now is RR? I mean, you have the Aegis, you have the BKB. This Ember has such
OD
crazy
ult
reach.
Is the only thing that you're really afraid of.
Yeah, that's true.
But not that scary, and he needs to ramp up for it really to be intimidating. He can't do it alone.
Yeah, he needs some big stacks here. There's only about 1,000 difference right now in the mana pool between him and the TA, plus he still has to worry about the refractions.
Alacrity just focusing structures. KYXY happy to bait out those blinding lights.
He's handing over some stacks, though. There's some more, and some more.
Arrow comes in. LC not going to find this duel. It's a good defensive disruption. They force the OD back, and now we're at this point where RR can just back up and reset. Get a lane of barracks. They get a tier 3. Looking to
He's
reinitiate.
going to like force to have ulti here pretty soon. The charges last for 35 seconds. This might be their moment. He needs to get the Ember.
No Coddle ult for 30.
Oh, this is nice. That's 4 free charges for Benner. They're stacking.
It's getting there. OD up to 2,400 mana pool. You can see RR starting to respect it a little bit. Like, okay, guys.
I mean, even then, it's still not that much damage relative to the sustain and deficit they're in.
Oh, arrow connects again on VT Faded. That'll be a reincarnation. Duel onto KYXY. Follow up from OD. They'll pop him. Now the Ignis is back. It dies pretty much immediately. Alacrity did use the BKB before Aegis, and he is sustaining for now. Xiao Yu thinking about coming back in. Alacrity leaps forward. They do finish off Ben-Hur. Drew is in deep. He grabs Ohio now.
14 kill streak?
Stunned up. Defensive disruption. Buys him the space he needs. Buyback from the Knicks, though. They're trying to keep Drew alive. Nice stun. Follow-ups there.
Give him a crit.
That's a big streak ended, but will it matter? OD stuck on the sideline for 30. Now buyback on the Wraith King.
Does Drew buy back? He's got Revenant. Yeah, he's picking. He's coming back.
Here it is. Was just waiting for them to commit. KYXY charging the back line. The Embers here. Faded in Ohio down. No buybacks. GG call.
Pretty dominant showing here by Reality Rift.
No doubt about that.
Not a whole lot more to say about this one, I don't think.
Yeah.
They just played a fun Spirit Breaker game. They did not hit neutral creeps. The fact that they had a tier 2 item spawn at 25 minutes, I don't think I have not seen that in any of the games I've come back to cast, where the teams don't at least farm their neutral items at 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were legitimately not hitting neutrals. They were just completely running at CR the entire game.
I mean, you can kind of see it in the kill score. 9-1-10 TA, 14-1-10 Ember Spirit. They brought the pain, dude.
Every time that I just see another one of these Ember games, I just keep seeing why he's so broken right now. I think, man, he wins so many of the games we cast, too.
Yeah, he's insane. He's hard to shut down. He does a lot of damage. He pushes out side lanes. He can itemize to fit any scenario. He can even play in any of the core roles. You know, you can pick him, say, okay, we want him to go mid. Oh, they picked Necro. Let's just put him safe lane. Oh, well, we could put him in the off lane. It's no big deal. We'll just shuffle around. He's resilient.
We've had support Embers in the past couple of weeks as well. Like,
not nearly as
DJ
good.
plays a good one.
Wow. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. Game 2, Reality Rift CR. See if they can bring it back. But a tough Game 1 for CR fans around the world. We'll be back after this.